am not what you would call a born athlete. I'm under 5 feet tall. I have little T-Rex arms. And, well, frankly, I have all the natural grace of a manatee. I mean, how many people do you know who have actually walked face first into a parking meter? So it may surprise you to know that I spent 10 years as a competitive athlete. It may be even more surprising when I tell you that I started doing this in my mid-30s. And, well, okay, I was never in the ranks of the elite athletes. In my skill and age level competitions, I actually had a modicum of success. I have a nice little selection of medals. I have a couple of gold medals for some very small local tournaments. More than one competitor, but still, small local tournaments. And I actually have one medal from a national level championship. So that's pretty good for a non-athlete. So what sport could I possibly play? As Jessica mentioned, it's fencing. Easily the geekiest sport there is. Now, I will say, when I mention to people that I fence, one of the reactions I often get is, "Oh, you mean you fence?" Now, I don't know why fencing engenders that, because I gotta tell you, I've never seen anyone go, "Oh, you play tennis? You shoot archery?" I don't know. I digress. But why do I loved fencing for the time I did it. And I love fencing because it's a sport that doesn't favor size and brute strength. You know, strategy and mental agility is equally as important as anything in fencing. In fact, they call it physical chess. Well, if you were here for the Geek Chic show, you know that I played chess as a kid. And I'm smart and I'm a strategic thinker. So fencing was kind of a natural fit. In fact, one of the best things about fencing, and really one of the key things about fencing, is that what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your opponent to do what you want them to do, while making them think that they're doing what they want to do. And when you can do that, it is sweet. And, you know, I'm a lawyer, so I got that cold. So I really loved fencing, and I did it competitively, and I worked pretty hard at it. And I really had going for me the strength of my ability to focus, my concentration, my strategic thinking. Because clearly my mental acuity was better than my physical prowess. Well, as it happened, there was one year, through a completely crazy bureaucratic screw-up, I ended up registered for an event that I had no business being registered for. It was at the National Championships, and it was what was called the Division 1A National Championships. So Division 1 is your really super, super elite level fencers. So Division 1A is like got some of those fencers and the people who are knocking at the door of the elite level fencers. And these are some really, really, really good girls. And I say girls because they were all 15 to 20 years younger than me. And so here I am, oddly registered and fencing, and I get to the pool, which is like 6 or 7 fencers, each of whom fences each other in about little round robin style. One thing about fencing is that if you look around and wonder, gee, I wonder who the cannon fodder is, it's you. And oh, I was quite aware that I was the cannon fodder. But that's okay, you know, I figured I got no expectations for this tournament. I have no pressure whatsoever. I'm just gonna have fun. One thing that did characterize me as a fencer is that I tended to fence to the level of my opponents. So when I fenced bad fencers, I tended to fence worse than I could. And when I fenced better fencers, I tended to fence better than I could. So I figured, great, you know, I'll be challenged, I'll fence up a little, I'll have a good time, I'll learn something. And so I watched the bouts, not only the ones I was in, but the other bouts very intently. And, okay, did I win any of the bouts in the pool? No, of course I didn't. I was fencing in Div 1A. But I scored some points, and I scored some nice points, and I was having a pretty good time. So, all right. So then we get to the second round of the tournament. Now, the second round of the tournament is what's called the direct elimination round. And as the name implies, you win and go on, you lose, you go home. So I walked into my direct elimination bout figuring, here's my last hurrah in Div 1A. I'm going to have a good time. Now, this is a direct elimination bout is a 15-point bout instead of a 5-point bout. Okay. As it turns out, my opponent was someone who I had fenced just the day before in the Division 2 event. Now, she beat me, but it was like 15-13. It was close. So I thought, well, this is going to be really fun, because at least I know I can hang with her, you know? So I'm nice, I'm loose, I'm relaxed, I'm in the moment because I'm having fun. And we start to fence. And I score a point. And I score another point. And I score another point. And it goes on like this. Yeah, she scores a few points. But I turn around, I am not even winded yet, and it is 9-3. I have remembered everything I learned in the last bout against her. I'm totally in the zone. I am taking it to her. She is not knowing what is hitting her. And it occurs to me, I'm gonna win! I'm gonna win a Div 1A bout! Oh my God! And I can picture myself shaking her hand, getting a big hug from my coach, getting the little slip that's got the score on it, taking it up to the bout committee, and I'm going to hand it up, and the person at the bout committee is going to look down at me and nod and smile approvingly and say congratulations and hand me my new slip. And I'm going to walk right back to that slip, and I'm going to keep going. Unfortunately, I was thinking all of this while the bout was still going on. And remember, my strength on the bout, on the strip, is my brain. Only my brain is no longer playing the game. My brain is there. My brain is after the game. Well, she starts scoring. And she keeps scoring. And she grabs the momentum that my brain has handed to her on a silver platter. Now, I wish I could say, and so it got back, and it was 14-14, and we fenced hard, and I scored that last point, but that would be a complete and utter lie, and these are true life stories. No, I pissed the rest of the bout away, and I lost. 15-10, from 9-3 to 15-10. And there she was, walking the slip up to the bout committee, and there I was, packing my foils up in my bag. And I was so devastated. My brain, the one thing I could count on in this world, it deserted me. And this bout that a tournament I had no business being in, a bout I had no expectations for when I stepped onto the strip, had become the most crushing defeat. Because I defeated myself. I let myself down. And I had no one to blame for it, which really pissed me off. But in that moment, because as soon as it happened, I knew exactly what had happened. I got probably my best fencing lesson, with all due respect to my coach, my best fencing lesson ever, and a lesson that I've taken with me every day, whether I'm fencing or standing up here or being a lawyer. And my lesson is that this moment, the moment, each moment needs your attention because you deserve it. Thank you.